think, did Mario Jodeci take Uptown to another level? Who would you think took Uptown to the
first of
third
all,
level?
Father introduced them. Father was the one that introduced both of them. And so Father was he was the conduit and giving us that transition to Jodeci. Now we got Jodeci. Now we're redesigning Jodeci. And then the first album, before it was done, Puff Daddy comes in and starts A&R'ing it and bringing the young boy flavor. I think Eddie left at that time. I think Eddie was not at Uptown when Jodeci came. They still.
So did you leave Eddie?
No. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I missed the part.
No, you were saying that by the time Jodeci came in, that you were moving.
No. I was there. I was actually in the office when they came. And,
okay.
I was trying to pop Celestin when they sang. I was like, "Yo, you should sign them right now before they go down the hall."
Right.
But what I found
and scoop them up.
Right. What I found out was everybody was saying the same thing. See, there's conflicting stories. It'll be like you'll hear Heavy told Andre he should sign Jodeci.
Everybody got a different story, but the true story is.
And I told him he should sign it. And I was in with Bob Celestin, was the general manager. But the truth is, everybody saw them. Everybody was in an office with somebody saying you should sign them kids.
Joining Uptown, and you had, because Uptown, when we look back at Black history and music, Uptown has an amazing career because it had Heavy D, it had Guy. I've interviewed both Damien and Timmy Gatlin from Guy.
Mm-hmm.
You came out around the same time with Mary, but you came onto the label. Heavy D and the Boys, Father MC, and Guy were already there. What was your thoughts? Did you think this is too much, or what was your thoughts about?
Our initial when we set up in New York, the whole thing was to go on a label with because it was Uptown MCA. So MCA had Bobby Brown, New Edition,
Bobby Brown.
They had Guy. They had Heavy D and the Boys. They had Father MC. They had all the groups that we wanted to be around and try to get in the same kind of where they were going. So that was our intent on going. That's the only label we had in mind was MCA. That's our focus. And we was like tunnel vision straight there.
Everybody. And the thing is that when Devontae learned, like I said, a lot of stuff, he was a genius already, but he learned a lot of stuff from Al, who wrote a couple of records or one record, the main record.
Come on.
My nigga Al B. Burner. You know what it is. I'll be sure.
Devontae.
I ain't even looking right now. Al, you can't
look,
put me.
You're looking right now.
That's a little pretty boy ass nigga trying to put me on this motherfucker, nigga. You get on this shit.
Listen, hold on. First of all.
That nigga know he family. That nigga been, come on.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I know what it is.
The bottom line is this. It's Devontae Swing. Okay? Listen, you say the name Quincy Jones. You say the name Teddy Riley. You say Devontae Swing. You say...
Don't give me props like that. I'm not one of those.
I know you're not, but that's my job. That's my job. Come on. Come on. We done spent so many days in the little room, built the studio.
I don't know his family. I know his moms. He know what it is.
She was cooking the chicken wings. Hold on. Remember,
he know what it is.
We was doing the first Jodeci record.
I'll get me off camera, nigga.
And starts working with these different producers and Devontae. And Devontae was like learning. Like I said, the first album, it's all good. I'm welcoming all producers, everybody. Second album, I'm doing this whole thing by myself. I don't want no extra nothing from nobody.
And it just worked.
What did you think of Guy? Did you know about Guy back? I mean, what was your thoughts about that?
We listen to Guy all the time. That's why we, our up-tempo is, we try to make him sound like Teddy. You know what I'm saying? Up-tempo, on our up-tempo side of Fat My Lady, we was going through this whole New Jack Swing thing, our version of New Jack Swing. But Teddy, we love Guy. We love Guy still to this day. I mean, Peace of My Love, Groove Me, Teddy Jam. There was all the songs we played all the time,
But you talk about New Jack Swing because you talk about Gotta Love and My Phone and stuff. But that album, that Forever My Lady album, was very much a model of the Guy album because it had.
It was the balance.
The B-side was all New Jack Swing.
Separated them.
But you know, around the world. So those of us in the UK and around the world, we actually loved the B side. The up tempo New Jack stuff was big, and then it's amazing how the ballads were the ones that really saved it.
And then
But
Puffy
Eddie, as a
remixes
producer,
with the ballads, the hip hop and R&B.
But Eddie, as a producer, when you heard the New Jack side, the Gotta Love and My Phone and all those songs, what was your take as a producer listening to those tracks compared to the Forever My Lady and Come and Talk to Me stuff?
There's a lot to unpack with this. I don't even know if there's enough on this interview to. What's supposed to happen is I was probably supposed to produce the ballad side because he was very good at doing really thick, rich, great ballads, Killing Me Softly. You know, he did all these like dope production type ballads. I was supposed to work with them and do the up-tempo side, but I was not there. So that part didn't get developed the way it was supposed to at the time. And that's, so if you ask me as a producer, that's why I think the up-tempos didn't have the full, they were there, but they just weren't fully all the way developed. There would be little tricks and little things you would do, things that Teddy may have taught us that then I ended up teaching my guys, or drum sounds that we ended up using that we circulated. And that's kind of what happened. And that's why the up-tempo side was a little bit lighter, I would say. The music was there from a musical standpoint, it was there, but there's something about New Jack Swing, hip hop, R&B. Everybody thinks that it's something now. It's normal because everybody mixes hip hop and R&B. But back then it was hard because you had certain machines, certain sounds, certain textures, and there was a certain way that if you didn't sound a certain way, it would be kind of like a little light. It would be a little fake, you know. It was only within us. It was only within really Uptown. We kind of had the sound that was the quote unquote official sound. Then it ended up expanding to Rodney Jerkins and Timbaland and Pharrell, and then, you know, and then after that, then hip hop, R&B just spread everywhere. But so that first album, that's the story of that first album, and that's why the up-tempo side probably wasn't as polished production-wise because I was supposed to help them with that, but things kind of went left.
So they were heavy rotation.
When you did join Uptown, did you get to see, as producers, did you get to see Teddy produce and work? Never.
Oh. My brother did it with Teddy one time in Virginia Beach, but this was after when he had the studios. Devontae went to visit him. I stopped by, and you know, I never got to see him work in the studio. I think he was more, you know, he knew that we were on his heels, and he wanted to hide his secret.
You know, it's funny enough because when they did a tribute to Andre Harrell, Jamie Foxx, Breon Scott, and Breon and Teddy said when Jodeci came out that he says, "Wow, we had to move on because you did come out, and you know, and maybe jokingly, but it was not because you guys came out with a very different sound that should have changed how New Jack was." Were you guys aware of the impact you had on the whole music scene?
Like I said, I knew we had something different. And you know, I think a lot of artists were trying to sound like other artists. We never tried to sound like anybody else. We just wanted to fit, I think, people to be accepted by our peers, which was Teddy and Aaron and, you know, Guy. And I think we just wanted to be accepted, but we always had our own thing. So I think on the up-tempos, we try to say, okay, well, we can make our up-tempo sound a little New Jack swingy, but big choruses, big harmonies, and chord changes, you know. And they didn't get that. They didn't get it. So then, you know, our ballads is what, you know, we kind of took off. But, you know, we always paid homage to Teddy. Teddy's one of the greatest producers, and I would be lying if I said that he didn't influence our up-tempos in the way we, you know, looked at up-tempos and New Jack Swing, because he was a king of New Jack Swing.
Yeah.
And that was a whole sound right then. He changed sound to New Jack Swing. When we came, kind of just changed again.
Yeah.
To, you know.
Yep.
Teddy, this is the first time you heard this. that's when I felt like Guy was blown out.
No,
that's why I felt like, yo, I got blown out because Jodeci took the spot and I went to go work with Michael.
Teddy, let me tell you something. Don't make me climb through this Instagram live and slap your face.
Why?
Don't you ever say that. Don't you ever in your life.
Devontae Swing.
Devontae Swing of Uptown. Eddie, if you want to talk about Devontae?
You know, it's crazy, man. Devontae is so musical. Devontae had like 10 keyboards in his house. And
all day.
From the church, you know, and tell you a crazy story. I had actually met Devontae. He told me this a year after they signed. He said, you know, I guess we did a show in the Carolinas. Him and KT came to the show when we were doing soundtrack. And they were asking me, I guess, about the drum machine. And I showed him the SV12. He said I showed him the SV1200. And I was like, yo, this is SV12, and this is what we use. And he said he went and bought one and started making records and then doing demos. And then they end up at Uptown like a year or two later with their demos. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yo, let me tell you something. They came to the Apollo. When they came to the Apollo, we were doing the Guy show.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Dre got a new, somebody came up to me and said, Dre got a new group, Jodeci. And I was like, yo, when I went to go study and hear their music, it blew me away. But I was like, okay, I got to go before that right now. And I want to play this record right here.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between us, for even loving us, on which I did miss you.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me.
No, okay, you're okay.
They don't understand what Jodeci's voice winning all spirits.
Play it.
I mean, I love all different genres.